No, you are not delirious from all the chocolate you ate on Easter, all the ham you consumed, or that crazy uncle talking your ear off about the Illuminati or whatnot. The Guardians actually did win another extra inning game. That's their fourth of the season already. Probably the wildest to date. We're going to have it all covered for you today on Locked On Guardians.
You are Locked On Guardians, your daily podcast on the Cleveland Guardians, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the show. Today's episode is brought to you by one of my favorites, Ultimate Baseball GM. If you've ever wanted to manage a team, this is your time. Make sure to download the game. Just visit ultimatebaseballgm.com or look it up on app stores. Our listeners get a 100% free boost to the franchise when using the promo code LOCKEDON, all caps in game. Over there is Justin. I am Jeff, and I know people are already going to be like, how can you guys celebrate? They lost this series, but can we point out that they might have lost the series, but they won the war. They've already won this season series against Seattle. So no matter how you view it, this is a potential World Series team. They won the series in series with them. That's valuable. 1-2 is fine. I am totally okay with this. This is a tough team. What were your feelings at the end of this one?
Well, you already spoiled one of my Monday headlines. If you're watching on YouTube, Monday morning headlines. This is an important April win. We may not think about April wins as being super important when you get to, September 30th, but the Guardians actually now hold the season series because the schedule makers decided the Guardians and Mariners should play 7 times in the season's first 11 days. They will not play each other again the rest of the year until maybe October. The Guardians, because they took 3 or 4 in Seattle and 1 here in Cleveland, oddly enough, they own the season tiebreaker against the Mariners. That could become important come September, whether it's, a wild card tiebreaker, deciding home field advantage, some sort of record tiebreaker. So not only is it important to, like Jeff said, to just beat a good team and have a season series win over a good team and not get swept at home, your openings weekend at home, but they now hold the season tiebreaker with these two teams. That could come into play later in the year. So file that in your back pocket or your Rolodex or wherever you keep in your notes app, wherever you keep notes these days. Could be very important.
Yeah, like I said, I know people will be like, oh, they lost the series again. As long as this team as long as you keep winning season series against good teams, you're going to be in the postseason, and that's what matters.
Yeah, and you know what? That was a fun win on Sunday. Okay, let's be honest. It wasn't great to start because Plesac had another stinky first inning, but he rebounded, which is important.
He was great at the end. Like if I was, doing 3 stars for that game, he's one of them. Like that was.
I would agree.
It's listen. They still had to use the pen heavily, but I mean, he went 7 innings. That's important because if you look at the other games in this series, we didn't get necessarily the Savale was not as strong this time around. He was no longer, they just didn't quite get the depth. Quantrell was fine, wasn't terrible, but
he was bad early and rebounded late, like Plesac.
Yeah. But it's like neither of those guys went 6, and this pen has been taxed. So it's kind of important to get those guys who are going 7 innings.
Yeah, good for Plesac to get as far as he did. I don't know how I feel about him long term still. I mean, he had 6 strikeouts, and this is a good lineup, but there is important to note there are guys that are off to slow starts. Yeah, the Mariners lineup, like Teoscar Hernandez hasn't hit anything yet for them. Julio Rodriguez has jumped everything, but there are still guys in that lineup that are struggling, and I know Seattle fans will come into our mentions and come try to take us down, but the bottom of their order, as Jeff has said early before the
season, questionable.
Yeah, and it's been Colton Wong hasn't been great. There have been guys in that lineup for them that just haven't produced. So nothing to take away from Zach Plesac, obviously, but
I mean, even Cal Raleigh, who's killed us as a runs created plus under 100.
Wong
has a -1. LaStella has negative.
Crawford's not been good.
No, I mean he's been okay. He's at a 98, but Teoscar's at a 76.
Jared Kelenick's at 286. Just FYI, my guy.
He's at I know I wasn't sold on, but he's at a 106 runs created plus. Julio's a 151. Eugenio Eugenio Suarez, who, what a job by Trevor Stephan on him, is at a 153, a 154 for Pollock, and Ty France at a 167. It's exactly what I said. It's, France, Rodriguez. I wasn't sure about Suarez, but I was like, that the top of that lineup is deadly, but the rest of it is some question marks. And they just,
but still it's funny good for them to take them down.
For especially because the pitching has been pretty solid for them. This is two teams with great bullpens, and this game today, they had to go to the bullpens. Though the other side was also just, Seattle has done some flip flopping, like the back of that bullpen, adding guys like Topa and Bukauskas who really struggled today. They've tried to move guys in and about and around to help them, and they still have a great bullpen, but to some players, we kind of saw what's happening when your bullpen gets taxed between Cleveland and in Seattle today.
Well,
longest game of the year,
Is it shocking? Yes. So Cleveland, I think, has played the shortest and the longest game of the year now.
They might have.
203 with Savali at Seattle, the shortest. I don't know, but Munoz is on the IL now for the Mariners, so that's important. And that became important on Sunday because Matt Brash had to come in. And I thought, wow, Matt Brash is coming in, so this game is definitely over because he's made everybody look terrible, but his command wasn't good, and
he mirrored Clase.
Yeah, it's been this bullpen's been weird. So right now, coming into Sunday, the bullpens, nobody has pitched more innings in the Guardians bullpen. They came into Sunday pitching 37 2/3 innings, and what did they pitch? 5 more on Sunday? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more. So add that to, they're up to 42 innings pitched on the year. Seattle was right behind them at 37 innings. Cleveland was 37.2. Seattle's bullpen ERA is slightly lower, about a half a run. And they've got a couple guys hurt. It's been interesting. Cleveland's bullpen hasn't been terrible, but you've had some weird outings from Sandlin that haven't gone good. He hasn't had his command. Stefan's had, kind of hit or miss command-wise. Class A command-wise has not been quite great yet.
99 has had, for a while there.
99 was
losses. He was good.
99 was, probably on Sunday, their best reliever. He threw 15 pitches, 11 strikes. That's as good as it's going to get for him.
But until it's been one good, one bad. So that was, after the bad one, he had to go. So we'll see what happens. But it's just more to the point that he's had the opportunities.
Yeah, they just really need
inconsistent.
They just really need Hench's back. And I don't know about Morris. I guess I can't say they need Morris back, but they definitely need Hench's back. How about our guy, Willie Baseball? Not a great start for
Big Willie
the
Cool.
Guardians. Yeah, Miles Straw, Quan's been fine. Miles Straw has been the best. Miles Straw has been the best hitter on the team so far. That's wild. Anyway, the right fielders, Oscar and Will Brennan, have both not been good at all. But Brennan had the RBI double, the 2-run double in the ninth inning to come back again. And then later in the game, he also had a single to take it to extra inning or to further on extra inning. So that was a big day for Will Brennan, I would say. He needs to get it going. One of these right fielders needs to start, putting their foot in the ground and earning more at bats, consistent at bats. Because I feel like Tito has been using Will Brennan as a pinch hitter a lot late in games. And it's hard for a young guy to really get into a groove and start playing and start having good at bats. So when he's in that role, it's really tough. So this is important for him, I thought.
Yeah, and I think, in general right now, what's tough is the top of the lineup where Kwan is maybe having his worst stretch of baseball since he got to the big leagues, and Ahmed Rosario is also, he's got a 47 runs created plus. It's kind of brutal
too.
And his defense, and we don't even have to get into, Melba's had problems covering baseballs as well. We had some wild pitches in it. It's not just all on Zunino right now. It seems like it's pretty rough back there for, even someone who is, maybe considered to be the best defensive catcher of the group. And I don't know. Part of their problem right now is that, Oscar's got a negative runs created plus. He is, listen, anyone who followed him in the minors, anyone who follows baseball in depth had reasons for concern. It's super early. He's still got to get playing time, but you also wonder at which point Brennan's going to start eating into more of his playing time because defense doesn't slump. And when you compare the two out there, that's not even close.
Yeah, it is. Tough start for Josh Bell. He had the game-winning RBI on Sunday, which is good, but it was a little bleeder on the infield. So I looked it up. Josh Bell typically, now he is hitting 086. It's not good as far as batting average goes. I know you could tell me what is it?
21.
21 WRC plus
heading into the game today.
Yeah. At least it's not a negative. Jeez. April though has been his worst month of his career. He has an 88 OPS plus in April through his career. Career OPS of 754. That is by far his worst month. Next worst is September. Actually, September and October he is 87. So he's a little bit worse than the last month of the year, but typically a pretty slow starter in April. So some people are like, man, I'm ready to jump off the Josh Bell experiment already. But what are you going to do? Like, we're not doing that April 9th or April 10th. But, you hope that some of these RBIs get some going here at some point because they're going to need them for sure. And the offense was kind of slow over the weekend. I mean, they lost 3-2 on Saturday. And then Friday looked pretty good. They were up early. And, of course, one of those runs was a wild pitch. That's the Guardians. The Guardians can't play a game without scoring a run on a wild pitch, right? I feel like that's just like a part of bingo, Guardians bloop bingo.
But I gotta cut you off here, or before we go too long. We'll have to get back into this one here in a moment, talking more about the Guardians and what happened on this weekend series. But first, let's talk about our good friends over at Ultimate GM. We've had 2 people in the comments now describe us getting addicted to Ultimate GM. So why are people enjoying this so much? Why are people getting addicted? Because it's fun. I started my 3rd season of Pro Baseball GM or Ultimate Baseball GM. You can, if you follow the link in our show notes, it takes you to the basketball version, but any of them will take you to, you can do basketball, football, baseball. Baseball is the one we're focused on. And remember to use the promo code Locked On to get a 100% free bonus. Right now, I have nearly a 1,000-point lead in terms of best season on anyone else. The only other person who is even close to me within 1,000 points in our little competition is never won a World Series. I won 2. So we'll see if anyone can catch up. I don't think so. I think I'm just going to be crushing the competition. The $650 prize is basically mine. They might as well say, if they let me run multiple seasons, I would win all of them. They're not letting me do that, unfortunately, or I would just take home all the prize money. Maybe I'll run a season for Justin just so he can get 2nd place and be guaranteed the additional prize money. Maybe that's what we should do. Just guarantee him 2nd that way. But go today to check out. You can go to their website, or you can go to wherever you get apps, and you get a 100% free boost to your franchise using promo code Locked On in the game store. So make sure to check it out. Download the game. Visit probaseballgm.com. Scan the code or look it up in app stores. That's probaseballgm.com. Ultimate Baseball GM. Start your dynasty today. And then if there's something you know about me, it's that I love new sponsors. We have one, RocketMoney. And here's what I like about RocketMoney. I was literally, before I got on the show, talking with Justin about how my weekend is crazy because my daughter lost her lovey and we spent like a day and a half looking for the darn thing. It is so easy to lose track of things when you're an adult, when you are running around looking for loveys because your kid can't sleep without it and it's 10 o'clock at night and you just want to go have 5 minutes to decompress, and you might have planned to do something, to cancel something, and you didn't. I signed up for 3 months of free Apple TV last year and didn't end up canceling it till December. Not that there weren't shows I enjoyed, but there was definitely points where I could have turned that thing off and come back. I didn't need to pay for 9 months of Apple TV. I could have every 3 months done a month. There's ways to be smarter. There's ways to do things like that better. And RocketMoney is here to help. It is a personal finance app that lets you find and cancel unwanted subscriptions. Another example, in college, I bought posters once and it came with a service. I don't even know what it was. I had to go through and cancel it. It was really obnoxious. But when I was a poor college kid and it was taking money out of my account, sometimes don't even know that you're signed up for things. And that's where they're going to help you. They're going to lower your bills all in one place. Stop throwing away your money. Cancel unwanted subscriptions. Manage your expenses the easy way by going to rocketmoney.com/lockedonmlb. That's rocketmoney.com/lockedonmlb. rocketmoney.com/lockedonmlb to stop paying for stuff you don't even know you're paying for.
Well, we hope the Guardians are not going to pay for
like Josh Bell, if he doesn't keep hitting, because hate to break it to people, if he plays like crap, he is here for another year.
That's a good point. I didn't even think about that.
That he's not opting out if he's terrible. He is here. So if he is dog water, as some of my students say, then yeah, he's here next year.
Yeah, well, he's typically gotten together in the middle of the months of the season.
But I will say on the other side of it, if you want to be an alarmist, his runs created plus in March and April is typically a 103. So a 21 is a little below that. So while it is his worst month, it is, it's early. So let's not get alarmist as well. But it is kind of early going there.
Still a 21% walk rate. So at least we can point to the walks being up. Jeff, three stars of instead of going 3 stars of the game, let's do 3 stars of the Mariners series. I'd imagine one's got to be Miles Straw because he continues to. You said Plesac. He was the only guy that, I shouldn't say only guy that pitched well. Savali was good. I think Tito left Savali in too long. That would be my thing. But I think Plesac was the best starter of the series, shockingly.
Do we give some credit to Tim Herron in this series? I know he only got, he picked up the win, allowing them to get the walk-off, but he pitched 2 solid innings. Eli Morgan's been unbelievable. Trevor Stephan, he didn't give up a run after the bases loaded, right? So, Stephan, Herron, and Morgan all pitched 2 innings of shutout baseball in this series. So that's a game, that's 6 innings right there. That's a starter. So the bullpen can almost get one. I think you have to, though, give it to Plesac, who settled down after, was it a 2-run home run at Cal Raleigh? Didn't give up another run. They're down 2-1 late in the game, struck out 6. He's always pitched well against Seattle, but this was a strong outing for him. He only walked 1, allowed just 6 total base runners. Didn't look great early, but man, those next 6 innings were spectacular. Miles Straw. So was today his worst game because he went 1 for 5. He had a chance to take the lead after 2 strikeouts as well. And then he had a chance to win it in the 9th, right? After Brennan's big hit. He swung at some bad pitch. He looked terrible in that at bat. That was the worst I'd seen him all year. He had 2 walks and a hit in one of the games. And in the other one, he had 1 hit. And so I don't know. He came back a little to earth in this series. He probably gets it by default. He does have the highest weighted runs created plus on the team. And then I think you have to give the third one to Will Brennan for what he did today. He just carried this team to that win. He came in, we didn't come in. He got the start today after he came in the day. I heard them on the TV being like, well, he came in yesterday with a chance. And I'm like, well, he came into that game with 2 outs in the 9th and nobody on. Let's not put that on Brennan. That's an awkward, difficult situation for anyone to kind of walk into. It's not like that.
I thought sits in the series.
Yeah, I thought. Jimenez is hitting well as well. I thought the Josh Naylor situation in the opener was more of a letting people down situation than Brennan. But yeah, I thought Jimenez, he had some big hits as well. Didn't he have one of because they was it game 3 times? Yeah, one of his was a tying one as well. So it's Brennan and Quan Brennan, Straw, and Jose are kind of carrying the offensive load right now. Zunino and Naylor as well, and then the rest of the team is not.
Jimenez is up there.
Who is?
You didn't mention Jimenez. You said Straw.
No, I said Straw. Andres.
Okay.
I just said him by first name. Jimenez. Yeah, Straw, Jimenez, and Ramirez. Straw and Jimenez are kind of top tier right now. Then you got Ramirez, Zunino, and Naylor are 121 to 130 and rated ones created plus. They're kind of a grouping, and everyone else is terrible. Or below average. Gabby is actually near average. He just isn't getting a lot of reps. The Quan thing is a little concerning just because he's expanding his zone right now. And we'll see what happens with. You got to get him reps. It's super early. That's the thing. At the end of the day, everyone needs their reps. I'm not going to sit here and be like, send down Quan, send down Brennan, send down Oscar. No, these guys need reps. The same reason you and I sat here and we're like, hey, let's be patient with Zach Plesac is the same reason where, we have concerns, like I said, about Quan expanding the zone. That's a concern, but you gotta hold course till June.
Yeah. I'm not really worried about Quan truthfully at all. His at-bats have been good for the most part. He's just being, going to be pitched different a little bit, and people are going to be more aggressive, but he's still doing just fine. Yankees Guardians series. Again, this could be another one. We talked about, the Guardians took the season series over the Mariners. for a tiebreaker if this could come into play too. The AL East is strong. The Rays can't stop winning. They are an unmovable force. The Blue Jays are good, and the Yankees are postseason contenders as well, and maybe even World Series contenders if their pitching ever gets healthy. But so this is another important start for them. Important series for them. They will play the Yankees again at the start of May, and then I think that's it. So definitely going to be important here. First game, Shane Bieber and Domingo Germán. Game 2 is Hunter Gaddis and Garrett Cole. Game 3, Aaron Savali, Clark Schmidt. Garrett Cole right now, Jeff, is on another atmosphere. He has been pitching great. So that'll be a tough one. But, like we saw in the Mariners series, like we said, oh, wow, it's going to be Hunter Gaddis and Robbie Ray. And we're like, well, if they don't win the Bieber start, they're not going to win the series. And what did they do? They took 3 out of 4. So Bieber, Germán, and Gaddis, Cole, and Savali, Schmidt, those are your pitching matchups for the Yankee series. And I'm not going to sit here and say again, they got to win the Bieber start. Otherwise, they're screwed. Because how did that turn out for me last time when I said that? I said that they were going to come home 0-4 after the Bieber start. So
it is it's interesting with Garrett Cole just because his walk rate is actually kind of high. So if a team's patient and can wait out whatever foreign substance he's using, wait for it to run out, they can maybe take advantage of what's apparently making his pitches move to a 42% K rate, which is just unbelievable. Yeah,
he has 19 strikeouts and 12 in the third. Beyond that, though, their starters have not been great. Nestor Cortez has been good. Johnny Brito has been good so far, but Clark Schmidt has been hit hard in 2 starts. Domingo Germán as well. So hopefully the Guardians offense can at least take advantage of those 2 guys. That would be super important. Yeah. We will get to keys to the series after.
Those are the guys you want to face.
Yeah, in theory. But I mean, like we talked about the Seattle thing, like you think it's going to be a good matchup and then ends up not being a good matchup because this is baseball and anything can happen. We will break down some more keys to the Yankee series after we talk about our new friends at So Rare. It's a revolutionary fantasy baseball game and marketplace transforming fans and owners with officially licensed digital cards featuring players from across 30 MLB teams. They have partnered with some of your favorite MLB stars, Juan Soto and Julio Rodriguez. If you head to SoRare.com, games are happening twice weekly in a span of a 3 to 4 day cycle. At the end of game weeks, managers who rank at or near the top of leaderboards can win a variety of rewards, which can include scarcity cards, game tickets, merchandise, signed jerseys, VIP experiences, meeting MLB stars. Prizes are going to vary depending on your competition. So head over to SoRare.com/lockedon. That is SORARE.com to draft your team of free player cards. Set your lineup and start competing today to win epic rewards. Again, that is SoRare.com/lockedon to start playing today. And again, head over to @LexHooper on Twitter. Hit up my buddy for some advice. Alex Hooper is the content czar of So Rare MLB. He will set you up and guarantee you some victory. So head it over to his Twitter as well. All right, Jeff, keys to the series. To the Yankee series, I've got score some runs for Bieber. He has gotten no run support so far. And if you're going to win that first game matchup against Domingo Germán, got to score some runs for Shane Bieber. What do you think? Can we get Shane Bieber a win? I know pitcher wins are worthless, but can we get the guy a win? Like, really? That'd be great.
No wins for him this year. We're going to drive down his asking price by, not allowing him to get any wins. So then he has to stay in town. It's all part of their genius plan to re-sign Shane Bieber. Teams will be like, he didn't get a single win, so we don't want to sign him in free agency. He's going to have to stay for league minimum. No, I think, I also kind of feel like there's that degree of like, the bad announcer. I think they'll win if they score more runs. That's,
the other team. Oh, wow.
Team. That works. That's my hot take.
That's how baseball works. I didn't know. But thanks, Jeff.
In all seriousness, it is a good pitching matchup. I mean, they've had success with Germán in the past. He's never really been all that good. This is a guy they got to take advantage of. If you're a team with aspirations, you need to beat up on the guys who are only in a rotation because the Yankees have arms falling off. Before the show, we were discussing, and I'm like, I think one of the underrated stories of this Yankees team is that they are, the kings of the retread. Ian Hamilton was the guy Cleveland got for Sandy Leon a year ago just so they'd have an arm in AAA to pitch. And he is part of this Yankees bullpen now, an important part. They're calling up guys like Willie Calhoun. I mean, Ian Hamilton's got the 5th best WAR amongst all of their pitchers. Again, early, but it's like,
almost 4 innings,
yeah. Franchi Cordero. They called up Willie Calhoun today, who's a DH without a position. They don't have depth. I also have to laugh at like the very classic Esteban Florial like hype train where no one even claimed him when he was let go by the Yankees. So like they have no depth. The minors aren't great. They traded away a lot of pieces last year, so it's the baseball season is not a sprint, and this Yankees team with a lot of injury plagued arms, not good depth. I'm kind of curious to see what happens because we know at some point Giancarlo Stanton's going to fall apart. We know at some point there's going to be some injuries. They're also an older team. This weekend could be rough, or this week I should say could be rough, but I don't know. Like in the AL East, I mean, it's hard to not like the Rays more right now. It's hard to not consider the Blue Jays at least on par. If you want to convince me the Orioles have a better chance, I might buy it. Like this Yankees team is good. Don't get me wrong, but that AL East is ridiculous, and the Yankees' depth is scary.
Yeah, Tampa Bay is scary. Good luck. It's Tampa Bay might win that division running away. Who would have thought that? But it's only 10 games in. But they look like warlords. I don't know. The Yankees, the Tampa Bay Rays lead baseball in home runs. I can't believe that. A year ago, they were down at the bottom with the Guardians in terms of power last year. The Yankees, though, are 5th. They hit 3 more on Sunday, so they have 16 homers. You want to beat the Yankees? Keep them in the ballpark. Don't give up home runs. Shane Bieber, he does give up some home runs. That could be a problem.
Most
Hunter
of this
Gaddis,
pitching staff does.
Yeah, that's the big thing. Like Hunter Gaddis definitely has, shown he is going to give up home runs. Aaron Savali will as well. So got to do what you can to keep them in the ballpark. That's how you're going to beat the Yankees. So that's pretty straightforward, I would say.
You said they had 6 this past weekend, right? Last
Yankees?
3 games.
Oh, I don't know about that. I know they have 16 total on the year now.
Didn't you say that someone had 6 this past weekend? I thought you said that.
Andre Jimenez had 6 hits in the series.
No, well, I don't know. I thought some team had 6 home runs. I was just gonna say because Cleveland has all of 5. So if someone hit 6 home runs over the week, if the Yankees as a team hit 6 over this past weekend, they have more than Cleveland has.
They hit 3 this weekend. They hit 3 this weekend, and the Guardians have 5. So they hit more than half as many as the Guardians have all season. So not saying you have to out homer them to win, but you can't limit how many home runs they hit. I don't think that's really a hot take here. And then
tied with the Nationals and the Tigers for that, by the way, just as a fun little point.
Good to see the Tigers still can't hit home runs. That makes you feel good that you won't finish in last because the Tigers still exist. Sorry, Tigers fans. My last key to the series is get some separation. I think it would be important for the Guardians to get some early leads so they can go to the bullpen with some cushion, hit those starters a little bit early on and not feel like you're taxing. Because, look, the only guys that didn't pitch on Sunday for the Guardians bullpen were Curry and Morgan. Like, I almost worry that they're going to have to send someone down to get a fresh arm up here, which they don't have any on the 40. The only guy they can call up is Connor Pilkington, who, by the way, was scheduled to pitch for the Clippers on Sunday, and he mysteriously did not. Ended up being a bullpen game started by Daniel Norris. So keep an eye on that.
Cantillo started this week, right? Didn't I see that? He started over the weekend.
I mean, I think we both know they're not calling him up tomorrow. Yeah. But Pilkington's the only guy they can call up if they need like an emergency, like fresh arm. And
they might.
I know that's what I'm saying. He didn't start Sunday, and I wonder if that's because the bullpen had been taxed and they were just worried about what might happen. So they wanted to keep him on reserve. And look, they had to go 12 innings. And like I said, Curry and Morgan were the only guys that didn't pitch Sunday. But that's the thing. Curry and Morgan are the guys that you won't send down because they're fresh. And you're not sending Heron down, right? Because he's pitched well. So who do you send down if you bring up?
Yeah, they can't come back for 15 days, right?
Yeah. So are you sending out Gaddis or not Gaddis? Are you sending out Heron for Pilkington?
No. Would you send it because you don't have any lefties? Could you conceivably send down
Pilkington will be a lefty.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, you could send Sandlin down, yeah.
If they were going to do it because he's a little more taxed, and you could be like, hey, listen, we just need a fresh arm. We don't have a lot of choices. I think Nick Sandlin's probably the guy. I just want to double check that he has. Yeah, he's got options. He's got 3 options left. So I feel like because they used him in multiple games in this series. So I feel like if you're gonna run with someone for risk not having someone for 15 days. I feel like it's more Sandlin than Heron right now.
Well, yeah, because Morgan and Curry can give you a little bit of length, and
Yes.
right now those are the freshest arms. But here's the thing: if you do that, that means you're keeping Pilkington up for 15 days.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just keeping an eye on that. He didn't pitch on Sunday. He was scheduled to. The bullpen is taxed. I just kind of wonder if that was like, just in case something happened Sunday where we need a fresh arm, and he's the only guy we can call up, because that's the problem. That he is the only guy they can call without making a 40-man move. They're not going to call Cantillo. So, yeah, could be interesting. We'll see. Any final thoughts, Jeff? Our buddy Tanner Bybee, great start in his first outing. He was up to 98. I think he struck out 7 or 6 in 5 innings. Gave up like a hit and a walk. Pretty darn good. Not a shock. Anything else?
Tim Heron's first win on Sunday. Just I don't know if we said that directly, but should probably mention that.
Yeah.
Outside that one poor appearance, he's had 3 great ones. So he's been, and we'll continue to have you covered here. Make sure you are watching every day, checking out, downloading, doing your part as part of the Locked On Guardians team. This is a fun team, and it's only going to get more fun as those young players start to join this team, as they will throughout this season.
Beat the Yankees. I don't know. Beat the Yankees.
Yeah,
it's when beat the Yankees.
Go out and support Miles Straw. Remember, Yankees fans hate Miles Straw. He is.
Oh yeah.
I'm always kind of surprised we didn't rally around him more. I know it was a rough year, but he insulted Yankees fans and got into the climbed, defending his teammates. So and right now he's the best hitter on this team in terms of production. So let's make this Miles Straw week on for Cleveland Guardians.
I like it.
You're facing the Yankees. He's played super well. Let's give extra support to Miles Straw this week.
I'm down.
Thank you all. As I already kind of did a little bit of the spiel, make sure you download daily, rate and review, comment, subscribe, like, all of that fun jazz. And as I say, go Guardians, go beat the Yankees.